Yo, what's good with it? September 15th. Man, have I had a busy day. People coming and going, saying what's up, checking in. We need to start a Doomer Discord, maybe? Let's start with some news, though, first. Can we say multi-war? Something going on in Ukraine all year. And a Senate just advances a $6.5 billion Taiwan military aid because we might just fight another war over there, too. Multi-war. What a fascinating time to be alive. In addition, we can be grateful that Patagonia's billionaire founder just said he's going to donate the entire $3 billion worth of his company to fight climate change. Oh joy. The UN has a response to all this, warning that the world is entering in uncharted territories from destruction from climate change. Fossil fuel free-for-all heading in the wrong direction, he says. Betrayal and injustice. Some fanciful words. Can we say tipping points too? Can we say tipping points? All the mainstreams were covering tipping points. Are you having a good day? I'm drinking Celsius. Let's read some fanciful comments now, because I get some delightful things from all of you. All of you. Welcome back to my channel. It's reading comments time with your host, the Doom Wizard. Rebel says on Literally Going Down in History, history is going down in history. Les enjoyed my last video. He says I did some interesting special effects. Cool, we have right-wingers who claim that climate change is always happening. We can't do anything about it. Yes, they are right that we can't stop it. We could never, because it doesn't become an issue for most people until it's too late. And after it's too late, what's the point? I know it sucks to die when you're so young, but at least you've had a good life, it seems so far. Ding! I have. Thank you, Les. Thank you, Les. Lots of sarcasm. Another point, mate, from Muhammad is that, mate, we are entering a solar maximum in 2025 where sun will peak. Another nail in the coffin. Some people commented back and forth about various relative forcing, energy watts per meter squares, some scientific stuff. I don't need to go into all that because tipping points. Jeremy Jackson says, although I feel sad for many of the kids of these boomers, I'm low-key looking forward to the anguish that these boomers are going to experience when they're forced to watch their kids suffer. Even though they still won't connect the dots to climate change and blame it on something else, they'll definitely be affected by these consequences, which is good enough for me. I will not be deprived of guilt-free Schadenfreude against the people that have shaved multiple decades off my lifespan. Yes, the lady from at my side got rattled at my don't bother looking up because of what I was saying. Big Gav says on don't bother looking up, just chill, bruh. Being a dumbass blue pill zombie ain't so bad. Atheist Batman appreciates my video. Perfect video, he says. This is exactly what I've dealt with my entire life. Everyone I know and loved has forever been distracted by bouncy balls and men running around to catch them and put them there and put them here. I always looked in the dirt and read books to my folly. And watched adult films. All questions or thoughts answered with, shut up, don't want to hear it. Better to be them and not know their doom. Is it? Is it really? That's the forever question. Smart ass. I've got to stop being so dark. He says, I took advantage of their ignorance. By the time he was 15, I'm going to paraphrase here, he started sleeping with all their women because he's a G and he's like, looks like this model. Okay, but it doesn't mean anything, so he's going to go bask in his memories. Oh, what a cute comment. Kurt Anderson on Don't Bother Looking Up. Way too late for the human race to change. Enjoy today. Tomorrow is not looking promising. The question of crucial tipping points. Do you think there will be any humans left by 2030, which got 7 upvotes? Not a very popular statement, I suppose. Anything might happen in this insane experiment, says Aerosol Masking. Atheist Batman says very, very few. I could see what's happening to crops and soil and weather. Even our soil's changing. Blah, blah, blah. The weather's changed, the climate is changing, he's saying. Nas says, sadly, yes. 2030, Dale says, yes, lots, but 2060, far fewer and more savage. I don't know about that, Dale. There's a lot of variables. North in Hinton, Nash says, yes, it will be like the movie The Road. Yeah. And some other, just some other comments. Jeff, my name Jeff. On Tipping Points, the 9 global tipping points post I made, he said, how disappointing humans will witness just a few tipping points before extinction. What a boring collapse. Yes, Nate is awesome on my temperature graph that I published. Not mine, it's data adapted. No 1951-1980 baseline used by Conservative Report to downplay the situation. Yep, we knew that. Ryan Bachman, I live in Pennsylvania and hope to find a Doomer community. My roommates and I have been watching your content a bunch. It definitely helps me stay sane to see someone else that gets it. If you can make it to Ohio, come check out Western Pennsylvania and watch out for the cops in Ohio. They're fascist as they get. Les, living in San Francisco Bay Area and has been 115 near, but only 105 in Hayward. It's too hot. Yeah, it's too hot everywhere. Bob says 2025 is the new 2100. The end is not far away. Elliot Jacobson's warning us. Indeed. Indeed. I'm sure we have a few more. Abyss Man, what a classic. Are you subscribed yet? Earth is activating its immune response to a virus. Yes, that's us. On my Everything is Fine, Keep Going to Work video. Not going to take it anymore. You're not going to take it. Richard Powell, Good Times Ahead, says it's going to get worse before it gets a lot worse. Indeed. I show people, again, the clips, the movie trailer for The Road, Elysium, Mad Max, and what else? Anyways, there's the Finch and Finch. It's going to look like a blend of all these things. Because Elon Musk wants the perfect land, wants to build his own little oasis with all the rich people. Les M on extreme flooding, loss of habitat for Homo sapiens. You should know that the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias in which people with low ability levels tend to overestimate their ability. This occurs because they lack the metacognitive skills to accurately assess their competence level. As a result, they tend to be overconfident in their abilities and underestimate the difficulties involved with tasks they're unfamiliar with. This can lead to them making remarkable, terrible decisions and taking too much risk. I too have felt guilty of this in domains which I was unexperienced in. /dot says, if we make it long enough, humanity will cling to the North Pole like rats on a sinking ship, a species without a habitat. Indeed. Jatandra's loves life on my post. It gives us 9 months tops at this point. I mean, until disruption of the food chain, water supply, sources of electricity causes a war. I would say, let's just hope it nukes. Okay, I'm gonna read it for the record from Lowy Appitz, my man. Like I stated in that chat during your live stream on my Living in the Land of the Stupid video, he says, like I stated in your live chat stream, it's impossible to go out and talk to your regular co-citizens. If someone hasn't had a severe alcohol, drugs, or gambling episode and or near-death experience, they're just not ready to acknowledge that life is not about 3 meals a day and shopping in the weekend. I can only maintain meaningful relationships with the heavily depressed. It's funny, but there's a lot of sentiment and trueness to what he's saying. Jessica Wrangler, I'm going to read this again for the record, Living in the Land of the Stupid. Almost all people don't want to think about catastrophic climate change as long as they have fast food, TikTok, and their sky god. They're fine. I got into a big tit for tat about the vaccine saving millions of people, prevented 14.4 million lives based on 95% credible interval on from December 8th to December 2020 to December 8th, 2021. This published in The Lancet, and yeah, maybe we shouldn't have just had so many people in the first place. I agree with that sentiment. I was just trying to be morally righteous in my indignation that people are worth saving, which is clearly a farce. Excuse me. Aerosol asking 2 weeks ago on 2023 food shortages will make us kill each other. Why is my tummy grumpy at me? Grocery store's empty. Yeah, that'll be December. That'll be this winter, guys, and next year. Rebel, number on the Constitution is hanging by a thread and we're doomed. Is it me, or is the tone of your video recently changed to very calm and collected? I really enjoyed them. They don't cause anxiety spikes like some of them did. I also think that therapy is working for all of us. Wow, I'm glad it hits when it hits, Rebel. No, I mean that. Thank you. And I do feel more collected. I've been proclaiming my calmness to nearly everyone I know in the past few months. I needed to be seen and heard and felt like a human. It's very hard to be human in this society. Even Peter Kalmus would agree. If he didn't have his six-figure income and had to spew big green lies out. Roxanne Berg, on 3 weeks ago, You Keep Telling Me Not to Feel Hopeless, she says, "Friend, it took a few years, but I think I've finally gotten through my mourning for probable NTEHE ahead. I'm in my late 30s and I don't have any hope anymore that humanity will survive much longer. The exact number of years or decades we have left is irrelevant, because I don't think that having that hope is realistic or helpful considering the peer-reviewed studies on our situation. But not having hope about this topic does not mean that I cannot have a joyful life and must live in despair. I now know that although the situation for me and the rest of animal life is not going to be okay, I'm psychologically going to be okay no matter what tragic events unfold. I am playing the very long game, committed to reducing suffering on this planet as best I can, and during this life, and reducing suffering as best as I can on this or another planet or future lives. I'm hoping that I'll be able to help prevent this kind of tragedy from happening on another planet during a future life by helping sentient beings in the universe become more enlightened. This perspective has improved my mental health tremendously. Thank you for your video and sharing your thoughts and feelings. You seem like a thoughtful, empathetic person who will do much good. I wish you lots of joy and good luck." Very heartwarming comment. I wanted to explore or just talk about, for me, I've been explaining that depression helped me get to understanding, seek enlightenment, because to get out of to work your mind out of a situation, you have to have a higher level of understanding. Was it Einstein who said that? No. Sandra, got to throw a classic one here. 3 weeks ago, You Keep Telling Me Not to Feel Hopeless. She says, "I wish society had learned the importance of stillness and having enough, but we're so used to running, trying to prove something or deserve our necessities and some luxuries in a rush to get nowhere fast. Everything we ends up in a landfill so we can buy more, while we end up in graves. What was it all for? What are the goals of society? That was never based in rationality or planning or conserving our resources. I guess we got giddy with producing stuff as much as we could." Yup. Facts. We chased it so far, our families, our traditions, rituals, all of it were free and joyful, got lost in fractures. There's no such thing as a free time when you're consuming during it. Well, I'm out, may not post for a while, need a social media detox and mental health break. Stay righteously angry. I may see y'all on a mountaintop in a forest. What a statement. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Sandra. Robert Emmett on You Keep Telling Me Not to Feel Hopeless. "I agree with you. Unfortunately, by the time something could be done about climate change, it will probably be too late. I'm not worried about myself, but I'm concerned about my kids and grandchildren. Something should have been done a long time ago, in his opinion. I believe it's too late already. I still try to have a fulfilling life and respect other people, although they disagree with me." Les, been subscribed a year. What a man. Cheers to Les. 1 year, mate. Appreciate you. You keep telling me not to feel hopeless. You said, "The name climate change has been used a way to condition people to think that climate issue that we are faced is nothing unusual because the climate is always changing. What we have isn't the usual climate change. Due to the development of civilization and its rapid destruction of nature, what we really have is a climate catastrophe. I call it climate disruption or climate chaos. Trying to grow crops with a chaotic climate isn't possible without sheltering crops inside buildings, which isn't too hard to do currently, but as civilization collapses, it'll become a lot more challenging. If tap water isn't working and our supply chain stops working, growing indoors, it will become next to impossible." Indeed, Les. Cheers. I've seen Koyaanisqatsi, by the way. Get that over and over and over. Good movie. Les comments again on that video. "The problem with telling people bad news is that they often do not want to hear it. Individuals tend to avoid unpleasant or uncomfortable situations, and hearing bad news can be a challenging experience. Additionally, many people are afraid of being unsuccessful or feeling incompetent. When we tell others terrible news, they may not want to listen because it could upset them or cause them anxiety. As a result, it cannot be easy to convey the important information to those who need it most. That is the part of the reason that more people aren't going anything practical to save the future." A book called Don't Even Think About It, Why Our Brains Are Wired to Ignore Climate Change by George Marshall nicely puts it. I should read that book. I've heard it. Doom! Lots of comments on that. And then I've flown back to my last reading comments video. I skipped over a lot here, guys. There's a lot of really wonderful, witty, comical statements made, and I wish I could read them all. Those are just a few. Keep them coming. I intend this to be therapeutic, to be informative. That's my audience. That's my goal. Therapeutic, entertaining, and cohesive. That's a tactile combination. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up and hit the road. Keep my eyes on the road. And I will see you guys in Ohio. Alright, mates? Doomer mates. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.